Yeah. So also talking about education, what do you think about the online course platforms like Coursera, Udacity, and all those things that are existing?
Well, when I was a student, obviously we didn't have this, and the student, the studio was basically um, following lectures, and then go in the library and open the books, your notes, and study them. Obviously, the multimedia way of getting information now is very useful, and these classes can be very focused. You can, choose the courses you want to do, and y- there is the way to interact because it's not anymore videos online. You can comment, you can directly
Yeah.
talk with the lecture. You can also have live sections where you can interact and ask questions. So there definitely is a very useful and powerful mean to learn. I'm using it during my PhD when I had
Ah,
to learn about new stuff. I would have also take advantages of some lectures online. I have to say, for example, the AI class taught by Winston, I look at it before starting teaching my own class because
okay.
I knew he was a great professor, very nice to, very nice, kind of casual kind of a conversation that was leading to the point, and I like that particular style, so I really enjoy the classes. Another very popular in our field is underactuated robotics,
Okay.
and again, the Ted Drake, the lecturer is really known for being an amazing lecturer, and explains again all these concepts in a very easy way with a lot of graphical aids, and is let you combine things together, and obviously when the class is also very interesting because kind of fit your interest,
Yeah.
it's easy also to follow. But I believe these guys are able to teach you these kind of topics also if you don't have the background.
Okay. Okay. And also there is a fundamental difference in the way courses are structured in a university. For example, there is a 1.5 hour lecture, and then there's also an exercise session which is probably also of 1.5 hours. And then in Coursera courses, it's or any online courses, the structure is different. So there are like very small 5 or 10 minute videos and then an exercise. So the structure is different. Which of the following approaches do you think is a better way of learning, for example, for a technical field like robotics and or artificial
Well,
intelligence?
right now we are actually in a period where the education, the traditional education has changed, right? Because now we are doing a video online lecture. My colleagues are doing everything online and remotely.
Yeah.
Um, I really don't know. It depends. If you are a student full time, then being in at university 5 6 hour a day with your colleagues, and growing with all the colleagues at the same rate more or less, because you
Yeah.
can help each other. I think is very very important. And at the university, actually, that was the main point, because you're a kid and you want also to have fun, and
Yeah.
and plus is one thing. Well, I did math and computer science, right? So all my colleagues were nerds and geeks, and it makes sense. And you start making jokes about things that you have learned in class, right? Like some particular fancy name for a theorem that sounds silly, or the fact that you think about binary representation instead of decimal anymore, or just the thing that if you're computer science and somebody asks you the number and tell you like ring me, so send me a message so I know your number, you send a message with ping, right? Because you ping that. That's exactly what the ping is, right?
Yeah,
So it becomes part of your way of acting, or way of
yeah,
joking, way of interacting with people, because you're a nerd, obviously, but also because you start understanding, you metabolize this concept. You can extrapolate this concept from the standard application and applied it on your everyday life. You can discuss about those, right?
yeah,
You can have names associated to techniques. Is a Derapustin kind of phenomenon, right? If you know the name, you have power over it, right? And if you can have a concept that is you get you can label a concept, you're able to talk about that in front of a beer with your friends at the pub, and by talking it, you also see if you can elaborate on top of it, if you actually grasp the idea in a way that you can elaborate. Okay. And discussing with other people, you can see different point of view, they might have understood something different. So I think this part of interactions that I prefer to be face to face, because
yeah,
I'm quite old, so I get um, uh, I grew up, in the countryside where the kids were going to play football in the park, and you sweat and you talk and you laugh all together. So the virtual interaction, although I'm using it constantly, I still prefer the old-fashioned way. With all the, obviously, in this situation, I also will adapt to maintaining social distancing and all the things, because I don't want to jeopardize friends or family. But yet, I would prefer to stay 2 meters away from a person and still laugh and discuss than
yeah,
stay
yeah,
talking with the camera. And during my period at university, I think the social group, this aspect that I done, because I was at university basically from 9 to 6 all day, having lunch together, that help also support my education in a, in many different ways. So yeah, if you are a young, I mean, if you have full-time students, I would suggest you go to the university to do it,
yeah,
if you have the means, obviously. um, if you are like a part-time student, in the sense that you are a worker and you needed to just learn some concept, or you want to, out of curiosity, you wanted to learn something new, then that would work. It will satisfy your curiosity, would provide you a title, and you can learn new stuff. So the goal is accomplished. But again, you lose part of this interaction. But if you are maybe work at this interaction, you have it at the work side, right? So kind of it's good to have it, right? I would suggest
yeah,
for a kid to go to school, that because social interaction, in my opinion, is quite
yeah.
important.
Yeah, so both have their each of them has its own advantages and disadvantages in a way. So as you say, for quick learning, maybe online courses are quite good because they are you can do it on your own, but then they don't have this social interaction and actually talking casually about the concepts with your friends kind of environment, which the universities give you a better option to, because you can also interact with the professors and your peer group in a way.